The presenting sponsor of Moontower Soccer is FVF Law.
To find out what makes FVF a different kind of injury law firm, you can visit fvf.law.
Hello, friends, and welcome to SWOONTOWER Soccer. My name's Mike Cragnola.
And I'm Steph Cragnola.
And we are all about the boys.
Yeah, we are.
You do it.
Today,
You made fun of me last time.
Well, it's just because you don't have like an efficient boom, 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 boom way to do the go through.
Show me how.
Okay. So today we've got all our normal segments. We're going to start with our Matchscot. We're going to go through fit checks, match moods, goal sellies, which will be a short segment, social media standouts. We are going to interview Michael McCall from AFTN about our upcoming Whitecaps match this weekend. And then, as always, we're going to close out with the man of my jersey. Nailed it.
You're really good at that.
Seamless. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm glad.
Except I said Matt moods. What's up, Matt Arnold?
I wasn't going to say
What's your mood?
Oh, yeah. Get at us.
Get at us. Tell us your mood.
If your name
if your name is Matt, yeah, anyone. It doesn't have to be our Matt.
Yeah, it could be any Matt. What if it's my friend Matt from elementary school?
That would be wild.
Who I tried to get a haircut at his barbershop and he wasn't in that day. Remember?
Oh, yes, I do remember.
It's still in my calendar as a reminder, just in case we're ever back there in Amherst, Massachusetts.
Is it like a location-based reminder?
No.
That like if you are in a certain zip code, it'll pop up, get a haircut?
No, it's just every month.
You have a month. We haven't been in Massachusetts in 4 years and we don't have any plans to go back. You have a monthly reminder?
So this week's match, Scott, was lace.
Yo, we were at a wedding this weekend and it was beautiful and lovely. And congrats to Cody and Milo. We love you. But we missed this match and we missed this Matchscot. And unfortunately, we did not assign a guest interviewer.
Yeah, so
we failed you all and I'm sorry.
But the good news is that Austin Pets Alive actually has a very adorable video of Lace zooming around on the field at Q2.
Yeah.
Which I'm so jealous of this dog.
You want to do the zoomies on Q2?
Yeah, the grass looks so soft. Like I want to roll around on it. I want to scratch my back on it like a dog, you know?
Yeah. You know, if you go to one of the movie nights,
you think they'll let you?
Q2, you know, the movie is Sing. There are going to be kids doing weirder things.
Yeah, but I'm so curious. If you go to the movie night, let us know what it was like.
Roll on the grass and fill us in. All right. Well, we missed Lace, but you can adopt her and take her home and give her the zoomies in your yard.
Yeah, she's so cute.
Okay, I'm so excited to talk about fit checks because we have one of my favorite outfits ever.
That's crazy.
Ever on SWOONTOWER.
This fit. Dude, go.
Julio Cascante is wearing like an Ascot handkerchief. It's like a silk handkerchief.
Yeah, it's
tied like an ascot.
It's a silk neck. He looks
neckerchief.
He looks like a Boy Scout put his like little Boy Scout neckerchief on him and sent him out the door.
Yeah. He is not a Boy Scout, Mike. He is a man scout.
I feel like that's your job.
To scout men?
Yeah.
I just love it. It's like black on black with the neckerchief. Oh, it's beautiful. The toiletry bag is black. There were a lot of keys and phones in hands. I was actually curious, like a lot more than normal. We saw a lot of keys, a lot of phones. Like, I don't know if they maybe caught them earlier than usual as they were walking in before they had time to put their accoutrement away. But
it's the like everyday carry edition of fit checks.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Owen Wolf's outfit, please?
I suppose.
Owen Wolf looks like the coolest kid in my 8th grade class.
So he looks like a kid who would cause me a massive headache in school.
When I was in 8th grade in 1998, this is what every coolest kid in school dressed like.
Okay.
The biggest, baggiest jeans, the like big skate potato shoes, which I love. Oversized jackets, right? Like the cross necklace, the whole nine. Everything about this
Everything old is new again.
is 1998, 1999 cool guys.
Okay, well, have you considered being a 2025 cool guy? Maybe a magazine model, which is what it looks like Jean is. Like
Honestly.
this angle, this photo, the jacket.
Yeah, it feels like there should be a caption with like the list of items and how much they cost.
Or like a perfume, like a cologne bottle in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely one of the two. It's either like GQ, like here's how to dress like a man, or it's
Jean
Jean.
by Armani.
That's good. Yeah, for sure. Meanwhile, like Danny feels like he got caught.
Danny looks like an absolute gremlin in this photo. Like, Danny's so cute, but this is not the best photo of him.
I think this
does
is
look like he
perfect.
got caught. He
Yeah.
looks like he was not. This is what part of what I was thinking. Maybe the photographers were earlier in the runway than normal because he looks surprised.
He looks
and
like
then-
he's not supposed to be wherever he is. And he's like,
Bakari
"Ah!"
also looks a little surprised.
Yeah. Yep. He's like, what are you doing?
Right.
This
little
angle,
confused.
not good for
No.
me.
No.
We can stand in front of me.
Yeah, pretty much the fit check was won by Julio this week. I'm gonna be Shalebug for a minute and say needs more Steph.
Yeah. I will say that the Brad Stuver
Yeah.
shot is crazy this
Amazing.
week. First off, what is he wearing? Is he just in a suit?
Yeah, it looks like he's in like black suit pants, probably his black like Lululemon slacks.
Was he like coming from a high-powered business lunch?
Maybe
A liquid
man's
lunch,
got people to
closing
meet.
deals?
he has deals to clothes and deals to close and people to deal. I don't know how to do business.
Clearly.
I'm gonna push a number across the table,
Ooh, yeah, good.
and it's gonna be the number of khakis I'm guessing we'll see next week.
It's going to be one clean sheet.
Hey,
Hey.
nice. All right. As previously mentioned, we were at a wedding and we were not able to be at the stadium for this match, so our match modes are limited. But it did feel like a pretty exciting rewatch, just for the number of goals. I mean, we knew what the score was when
And
we
were
got home.
still like, oh!
Every single shot, we were like, like we knew none of them went in, but
Yeah, is this like the closest that we could have gotten to like a 4-2 game with nothing ending up in the net?
maybe.
It was crazy. It must have been so stressful.
Oh, to be
In
there and watch
the stadium, yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
One thing that like was clear to me that I think we miss out on in the moment in the stadium
Mm-hmm.
was like Mirto Izuni's reactions to not scoring. He seems like he might be madder than anybody who has ever missed a shot
Yeah.
not to have scored a goal.
Yeah, he is not thrilled to not score.
Yeah.
He is bubbling up.
Yeah. He's going to break the seal and it's going to be ridiculous and he's going to score 1 billion goals.
I mean, he's broken the seal, but like
Yeah, but like
more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the way through.
Yeah, he's like punched the straw through it, and now he's gonna like wiggle the straw around to get it all the way open.
Yep. Steph had a boba tea apparently before recording.
I would not. Disgusting. Those things are, I'm sorry to anyone who likes boba, but those things are so vile to me. The idea of.
Wow. Before we alienate the rest of our listenership, can we give a big shout out to Stu?
Yeah.
What
we
a
can.
game.
Whew.
What a game he
Yeah.
had. Kept us in it.
Insane saves this match.
I was glad to see that he got man of the match.
Yes.
I think I would like to see him get man of a match.
When we win.
Yeah.
Same. I've been saying this forever.
I think it's time.
Yes.
All
Beat
right,
that
Steph.
drum.
Let's go to the goal sellies section.
We don't have one.
Oh.
Okay, let's go to the social media standout section.
BHI is a pillow guy.
I know you love your pillow guys.
I love a guy who's a pillow guy.
It's
I get
so
it.
funny.
I get it.
So funny.
And so seeing BHI out there, seeing John Gallagher out there, that makes me feel good. Those are two good guys.
Yeah.
Those are good guys. They're pillow guys. I'm a pillow guy. I'm a good guy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I have a question.
Yeah, what's your question?
This is related based on the away match plane pictures. They're gone. No, I understand this is a little early for travel, right? Like it's 2 days. They're going to be there 2 nights instead of just 1 night. But their suitcases really don't change week to week. What are they bringing?
I mean, you.
Me and you and me will bring one like 40-liter backpack for 2 weeks in Spain.
Everybody's bringing the Xbox.
They don't need 8 Xboxes.
Maybe they do. Maybe they don't want to play together. Maybe they want to play alone.
Well, then, like, get a Switch. That should be Ilya's next captain gift to everyone, is a little Switch. I can just put in the Bakari, Jean, CJ, and Danny all have reasonably sized bags. They have like duffels or backpacks. And that's the thing. They have these like big carry-on suitcases and a backpack. Like, what are all the things? Like, is it just because they're like tall men that their clothes are bigger and they take up more space?
Maybe. I want to talk mostly about Nico Dupersarski's grocery bag.
I know. I thought it was actually like a design. You know how some designer bags will like make themselves look like.
No, this is a paper bag.
No, I know, but like the way it was folded over at the top, I thought maybe, so I zoomed in. It's not. It's just a food store paper bag.
It's a paper bag. What do you think he's got in there?
Ooh, I think he has a Switch.
I'm so curious what's in, like, you've got a backpack on, you've got your carry-on. What did he pick up at HEB on the way to the airport? Oh, shoot. You know what I need?
For an actual answer, I think it's probably the meal. Whatever meal that.
The catered meal.
Yeah, because nobody else has it. So I bet they all like had lunch because it's, you know, a midday flight or something. Like maybe it's a different time or I don't know.
And he was just late?
That's his doggy bag.
Oh.
No, he couldn't finish because he's just a little guy.
He's gigantic.
Yeah, but he's a gigantic little guy.
Sure. Okay. That's fair enough. Do you think all of these other bags are gigantic because they're pillow guys and they're ashamed?
I do now.
And so maybe the whole team is pillow guys. And BHI and John Gallagher
they're paving the way.
Are the only ones brave enough to show everyone.
No, they're the ones with the PlayStations, so they don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on from those, we have gotten a lot of weightlifting pics lately.
Yeah, this season it really seems like we're strong and forming like a backline that is physical and powerful, and here are all the proof. And it's just like the pics from the workouts in the gym.
Yeah, I am not complaining. Let's be
No,
clear.
I think it's cool. I think it's neat to see. I just think it's an interesting change this year as compared to other years.
Yeah, it's
right?
definitely a narrative that they're pushing.
Yeah, everybody's working hard in the lab, you know?
Yeah.
Like to see it. I think it's super neat. I think it's a fun new set of insight into the team, right?
Yep.
Speaking of
new
insight into the team, if you're not following Jacob Gonzalez or J10 Gonzalez on Insta, you pause the podcast right now, open up Instagram and do it. Again, that's the letter J, the number 10 Gonzalez, all one word.
You can actually like do that while you're still listening. You know that podcast apps will keep playing in the background.
Unless, yeah. But like, I don't want them to get distracted and forget
what
they were doing when they opened Insta. Because I know when I open Insta, I get served 600 ads and then I can't move forward. My brain collapses.
SWOONTOWER episode preps takes 3 hours.
Spoilers.
But yes, there's some really cool like behind the scenes shots, and we have some incredible pics from like the pre-match circles. Just really, really great stuff.
Yeah, I like all the setup and the shot, and he does a lot of that stuff back there too. So definitely follow that account.
Yes. Also, something that you should be following this season is Austin FC's unified team.
Yeah.
We got an announcement set of shots this week, and it's just a really great. Brad, Ilya, and Danny were all there coaching them, and I just love seeing our boys supporting our boys.
Yes.
Or I guess our team supporting our team.
Yeah, I knew, like, we knew from doing the opponent spotlights that Ilya has in the past been a unified team coach.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool to see him working with our unified team as well.
Yes.
Just super loving to see that.
Yep.
So
Agree.
good guy. Good
Yeah.
captain.
Yeah. He really is. Gosh, it's incredible how ingrained he is in our community, isn't it? Like,
Yeah. It's really
so
neat.
fast. So good.
Speaking of,
So fast and good.
I was going to say Ilya.
Oh, sure. Oh my gosh. So there's a Dream Starter competition happening through Austin FC for entrepreneurs. And that's the not important part, but it's very cool that they're doing it. The important part is we got a little commercial for it with Diego, Ilya, and Mirto. And I think one of my favorite things in the world is athletes reading scripts.
I mean, none of them are as good
No, as Rodney.
as Rodney.
Well, that's because they didn't try to make them memorize it. That was his problem. He had to memorize it.
He had to memorize one sentence.
Yes.
It was like 8 total words.
I know. But
These
it
boys
was
read this
memorized.
script. They did a great job.
They did do a great job. It just made my heart happy.
I will say this was not Diego's most convincing performance.
Well, I think maybe because that's how it started. And like Diego is not a performer.
I remember his Dawn commercial. That was brilliant.
That's true.
I know.
That's true. You're right. Okay, yeah, I expected better.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
Diego,
because he's hurt.
sharpen up.
You know what else needs sharpening?
What?
Boys golf form. Nailed it.
Yeah. Great transition.
Thank
but
you.
honestly, some of them do.
Yeah.
Some of these swings looking a little rough out there on the course. Can we please talk about who did our boy CJ dirty the way that they did with this putter? Why is it so small?
It's so little.
Why is it so tiny? He's so gigantic.
I think here's my assumption.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be Diego Rubio, but because he's injured,
Oh no. Wow.
I'm so sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry, Diego. I'm so sorry.
Roasted.
But like he couldn't have borrowed Brad's.
Right. Or like, do you think it's because he's the youngest guy on the course that he gets the little boy club?
No, it can't be.
I mean, look who else he's playing with.
Yeah, but like just because he's younger doesn't mean like he could have borrowed Galley or like anyone else's clubs. I will say I really love Brad's outfit in this. The button-up shirt that he's wearing has got some like texture, like color on it, and it's really, really nice.
Yes.
The backwards baseball hat, I'm loving. You know what else I'm loving? The artistry of this picture of Julio with his like red slouch beanie and the like red ball up in between the buildings of downtown. This is art.
Just because Julio's in the picture, you don't have to like it.
I didn't say I have to.
I'm just letting you know.
Oh, actually, someone in the comments called out that CJ's a lefty. So maybe that's why there weren't any
regular size clubs for him.
Yeah.
Only little
lefties. You know that's why I liked golf growing up, because my sisters had to share golf clubs and I got my own because I was a lefty.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's
the only reason
ridiculous.
I liked it. Try growing up in the middle of three sisters who are highly competitive and you will not think it's so ridiculous anymore.
Yeah, hard pass.
All right. You want to take an ad break and then we'll get into our interview with Michael?
Let's do it.
SWOONTOWER Soccer is brought to you by our friends at FVF Law, the official injury lawyers of Austin FC.
FVF is a different kind of personal injury law firm dedicated to community, transparency, and client education. And they have their own podcast called Summary Judgment. Check it out wherever you get your podcasts.
You can go to fvf.law to find out what makes FVF a different kind of injury law firm and why understanding your legal options can dramatically change the outcome of a case. Once again, that's fvf.law.
Our premier sponsor is McGuire Woods Consulting, helping clients in the public affairs space from lobbying at the local, statewide, and federal levels to digital and communications campaigns across the country.
McGuire Woods Consulting has offices in 10 MLS cities, but only advertises on this podcast because it is the home of the soon-to-be three-time Copa Tejas champions, which is the most important trophy in professional sports.
It's true.
Contact our friends at McGuire Woods Consulting at www.mwcllc.com for more information. We are joined this week by Michael McCall. He's the managing editor of Away from the Numbers, or AFTN, covering the Whitecaps since 2009, even before they were officially in the MLS. You can find their written and audio work at aftn.ca. Also, so important, he is a huge Alistair McAllister fan, so whatever he says for the next 20 minutes, you can take as gospel because we already love him. Michael, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for that intro. Yeah, just to clarify for the listeners, I am not Alistair McAllister. Similar accents, but he's way more talented than me.
A lot louder. We'll say that too.
he is the best sportscaster in the league.
Most unbiased.
Oh, certainly.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
We love Alistair. We are very proud of him here in Austin. But we're also very excited to get to talk to you today because of how long you've been covering Vancouver and how much insight of that journey and how I think happy you must be right now. It's a good vibe and it's kind of honestly different from some of our past weeks where it's been hey, welcome. I know everything's bad for you right now, but talk to us about this weekend. So this will be maybe a little bit more positive.
Well, for him.
I think because everyone else has been so bad to start this season, that is why we're doing so good. It's I mean, we were just saying before we recorded, if you look at the top four, no one's going to have had those four teams in any order. You might have had one or two of them in there, but you wouldn't have had those exact four teams making up the top four. My tips at the start of the season, I had it between the two LA teams and Seattle, and now you've got two of them down the bottom. So it's actually great. And I think for both of our clubs, getting early points on the board is huge.
So important for the end of the season, right?
Yeah.
But y'all have been doing it while also progressing in CONCACAF Champions Cup, which is so difficult. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Usually you see these teams who have to pick one or the other, right? And I think
LA, a great example of that.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that kind of comes down to what is the secret with Vancouver this year? We know generally, here's the national focus on Vancouver, right? Is in the offseason, you fired Vanni Sartini, king of my heart, and you hired Jasper Sorensen, who I had never heard of and frankly had a lot to live up to. And then it's just worked.
Yeah,
is that
we'd never heard of him either. So it just got announced, oh, this is the guy that's coming in. And you're like, okay, let's do some Googling on who he is. And then you see he's done well with Brøndby, and he's Danish, and his whole career's been in Denmark. And I mean, everyone didn't know what to expect. We thought at best, and I mean, it's early, this could still play out, that the Whitecaps would be somewhere from 8th to 12th. If they could string some results together, they might be battling to just get in the playoff places. This has exceeded all expectations. But part of it is because he's been forced to play so many players, partly because of the Champions Cup, but partly because of injuries. So because of that, they all know the roles. They all know exactly what they need to do. And they're all performing really, really well. And it doesn't matter which player you put in, which one you take out. They all know their role and they're all able to execute it. And we've not had that in previous seasons. Our depth has been shaky. Once you get past maybe the top 16 players, you notice a dip. Now, if all the top guys are out, which happened recently in our game against Chicago, where we had players out injured on international duty, then it's a struggle. Sure. But if you're just taking one or two out the lineup because of rest, because of Champions Cup, everyone that's coming in, you're not noticing the drop-off. And I think that really has been the key this year.
Yeah. From the outside, it seems like a bunch of the bench folks from last year have taken a step up. Near and dear to our heart is Sebastian Berhalter, who was on our inaugural season team.
Yeah.
We've kept an eye out on him ever since he left us.
He's killing it.
Yeah. He seems like he's really taken a step up. Is this a coaching thing, or is it a just
blossoming talent?
Yeah, is he just getting older?
It's a bit of both. Like towards the end of last year, he really started to hit his stride. But I think under the new coach, he's got a slightly different role. Like Vanni Sartini was playing him out wide at some games. He was playing him in the middle. He was playing him instead of Andris Kubis as the defensive midfielder. And now he's more a central midfielder. And whenever he plays beside Andris Kubis, who for me, and like we've spoken in recent weeks to Sasha Kleshin and Dax McCarthy on our show, and they both feel Andris Kubis is in the top 3 defensive midfielders in MLS. And
who do
I
they
agree.
have above him?
I don't know. They always keep it vague.
He to me is number one, like with a bullet. Like that
I think so too, but I am biased. But I mean, I take top 3 because
Sure.
I don't watch all the games in the East. I don't know if you guys do. There's so much going on.
It's impossible.
I watched the 360 show, which works
Yes.
for us because of our kickoff times.
Sure.
At 7:30, they're all finished by.
Must
by
be
this.
nice.
Yeah, you don't have that benefit.
No,
So
we got the worst of it in the middle, I think.
Yeah, so I just see the little bit. So I don't know who's out east. I don't know who's doing it there. But Andris Kubis is great. But whenever he's on the pitch, Sebastian Berhalter plays up a level. And the two of them have got this chemistry. And then we've been playing a midfield 3. And whoever that third person is, just knows what those two are going to do. And they just slot in.
That's great.
Yeah. I think that it's really cool to hear that even with injuries and even with your congested schedule, to hear you spin that as a positive, that everyone knows what they're doing and they're able to they know their role and they do it. That's such a cool spin on congestion that I haven't heard anyone and I know it's easy when you're winning to be
yes,
positive.
I mean, if we weren't winning, my take would be totally different. But that is how it has worked out. And even in the games against the Mexican teams, there's guys that's played in that you're thinking, wow, they've just excelled. I would never have thought they could have come on and done that.
Yeah.
We've got a young midfielder, Jean-Claude Ngando. He's French. This is the second year as a pro out of the draft. But last year, he was loaned to Las Vegas Lights in USL, and he made it to the Western Conference Championship game. Now, I watched some of those games, and he was good. And I thought, I don't know what he'll be like with us. He has come in and just been exceptional. But the other one is our young left back, Tate Johnson. He's 19 years old. He's getting minutes that he wouldn't have probably got if we hadn't had injuries. Our first choice left back, Sama Kugbe, Canadian international, is out injured. We had a Uruguayan, Matias Laborda, who can play anywhere along the back line, but he's more a right back. He has been playing left back. He got injured. So now Tate Johnson is there as at 19, just drafted this past winter, and he's going up against top players in Champions Cup. He went up against Bernadeschi, which whatever you feel he's doing in Toronto just now, Lorenzo Bernadeschi, he's a World Cup winner. He's quality. And Tate Johnson handled him with ease. And that is the kind of stuff. These guys have seen their opportunity and they've taken it. And we've not had that in Vancouver before. Guys have had their opportunities and they either haven't taken it, but they've also been set up not to fail because they're not getting thrown in with 3, 4, 5 other changes. It's just 1 or 2 at a time. So they still have the strong pieces around them.
Yeah, I remember last year, y'all let Ryan Raposo go, and I thought, like, what are they going to do in the back line? But a guy like Matias Laborda, kids like Tate Johnson, like, that really helps that depth problem out for you. Who do you think this weekend is going to be some of the more important players that our fans should be on the lookout for?
A lot is going to determine really how tired everyone is after the Champions Cup game on Wednesday night down in Mexico City. They're playing at altitude. That's going to take a lot out of them. I don't know exactly what lineup we might see on Saturday. That said, Brian White will definitely lead the line as the main forward. And I mean, he is just... He's probably one of the best value strikers in all of MLS.
Yeah.
He's not a designated player. He's not one of the big money guys. He's on a decent amount, but he's not a designated player. I don't even think he's in top 5 in the team in terms of salary. And you look at the contributions that he's done since he's come to Vancouver, and he's one of those players that will miss a lot of chances that you feel he should score. That's why he's in MLS. That's why he's with the Whitecaps. Because if he was scoring it on a regular basis, he'd either be over in Europe or in one of the top teams. I mean, we know that.
Sure.
He seems to have this telepathic connection with Ryan Gauld, which you won't have to go up against this weekend because Ryan Gauld, Jesper Sorensen, our head coach, keeps saying he's a couple of weeks away, which we think is Danish for, I don't know, I'm not going to say, because it's constantly a couple of weeks. And the more it's going on, the more concerned we're getting because those couple of weeks have now become 6. And you're like, ah.
Yeah, that feels like it's a couple of months territory.
Yeah, that's a knee injury that wasn't as bad as first looked, apparently, but he's still feeling pain, which is never a good sign. So he's not even doing laps or training with the rest or anything yet. So you've got Brian White, definitely watch out for him. In the midfield, we've talked about Andres Kubis. I mean, he will boss that. We're looking at 2 teams that don't concede much. And I mean, on paper, you're thinking it's going to be 0-0 or 1-0 to somebody. But I mean, defences will be out on top. Our 2 central defensive pairing, that's who I don't know who you're going to see. Because it has been Ranko Veselinovic, who's Serbian, and Tristan Blackman, the American. And that's our number 1 pairing. Now, I would imagine that they will be the pairing that will be playing against Pumas on Wednesday night, because we're recording this just before that game. So I haven't seen who's playing yet. So one of them will sit out. So it's whoever then comes in. And we've got a couple of strong ones there, but whichever one of those two is still playing is the key. But then the two fullbacks, they both like to get forward. They're both very good defensively. We've talked about Tate Johnson on the left. On the right is another young guy that has just really come onto his game this year. He was hired or brought in towards the end of last year. He's Colombian. His name is Edier Ocampo. And there's not a challenge that Ocampo likes to shirk out of. He is a card magnet, and I would expect him to get another one at the weekend. And he likes the physicality of the game, and he gets up that right wing. And we've had so many right backs here that my main criticism of them is they just won't shoot or they won't send in the telling crosses. He is the opposite. If he gets anywhere near the goal, he's going to have a shot. It's like he is not afraid to go for goal, and I love to see it. Now, it hasn't come off, but one of these times it is going to come off. He is also a really good crosser off the ball. So if you don't mark him going up the right wing, that is going to cause trouble for you.
Yeah, looking at his stats here, he's got 8 shots in 300 minutes or so, 340 minutes. So yeah, definitely not a guy who's afraid to let one rip.
But that kind of like brings me to a follow-up question. Just none of your, besides that 4-1 opening match, I guess, yeah, that was opening day for y'all. Your score lines have been pretty low in the same way that Austin's have been. And like, I think our fans might be happier with 2 goals in a game rather than a consistent one. But like, what is the concern, if there is, with finishing on those shots?
Yeah, we have been creating a lot. Now, a lot has been made that Vancouver, I think in all of MLS, have the most touches of the ball in the opposition box. Now, that's an interesting stat. Now, for me, it's not a great stat because it means you're passing it around and you're not getting your shots off. So I'd rather they had the shots and they're just passing it around. But they try and force space. They try and pull somebody out. They try and make sure that they don't give the ball away. Vancouver this year under Jesper Sorensen, the whole MO of the team is you keep possession, you give up possession, you win it back immediately. Doesn't matter where on the pitch it is. If it's in the opposition box and you've given it up, you win that back in or around the box. And they're creating, they're moving the ball well, but the finishing touch just hasn't quite been there in some of the games. The game we lost against Chicago, we had the chances to win that. We just didn't convert, and then we were pushing hard to try and get the equaliser, and we left ourselves short at the back. Now, I don't care if we win games 1-0. For me, it doesn't have to be pretty. You just want to get the end result. And I know a lot of North American soccer fans, it's more entertainment.
Have you?
And it's the same here in Vancouver.
Have you considered switching allegiance maybe to Austin FC? Because have I got a team that likes to win 1-0 for you?
That's great. Like if you keep a clean sheet, you've at least got a point. That's how I've always looked at it. And it's like every point in the West this year is going to be absolutely crucial. And like right now, I think you're in the playoffs with 48 to 50 points. And after 7 games, we're a third of the way there.
Yeah.
And if you'd offered us that at the start of the season, you take that without caring how you've got to that point.
Amen.
But we seem to be a team this year that wants to play on the front foot. We want to be aggressive. From the first whistle, we will take the game to the opposition. We've not had that under Vanni Sartini. Definitely didn't have it under Mark DeSantis and Carol Robinson before that, the 2 previous head coaches. So from what I've seen of Austin, you feel like a team that's counter-attack.
Yeah.
So these
far.
These two styles are going to be interesting because you're going to let us have the ball, we want the ball. You're going to want to try and hit when you can. And that's when we've been hit this year. So it has the making for there's goals in this game,
Mm-hmm.
but it also has the making that both defenses will just shut everything out and we're looking at 0-0.
Yeah. So to talk about vibes a little bit, just to pivot, we're starting a new scale. We teased this in a little bit last week. We honed our question a little bit. So we're gonna ask on a scale of boxer to ball boy, what would you say the spice level of Vancouver is this season? Are they going to be really aggressive, or are they going to kind of like wait for someone to tell them what they do and do that like this is an audio podcast, but y'all trust me, I'm doing the ball boy thing.
Yes. I do a lot of visual stuff on my podcast as well, which I enjoy doing because I know it annoys the listeners. But we're not quite boxer, but I would say we're maybe just a couple of notches down from that. I'm trying to think what that would be.
I know.
Ooh, let me think. We're feisty, like we're physical. We have got players like Sebastian Berhalter will not back down.
No.
Ali Ahmed is in Canada, in Canadian games against Mexico and the US and Panama. If there's anything that breaks out on the field, Ali Ahmed is right in the middle of it. For a guy that is very frail, it's like you look like the wind would blow him over. He's right in there. So he doesn't mind mixing it up. Eddie Ocampo will go in with some crunching tackles, as will Andres Kubis. And both our centre-backs won't be afraid to kind of like mix it up a little bit as well. In our first leg game against Pumas last week, towards the end, one of the Mexican guys had grabbed Tristan Blackman's jersey. And Blackman's just like smiling at him the whole time as he's like trying to haul him and try and get a reaction. Blackman got booked for it for some reason, just for standing there. But it's like they won't put up with anything and they will not be afraid to get involved. So they've got fight to them. But it's not like under Vanni Sartini, where a lot of teams on the pitch, how they act comes from how the coach acts on the sideline. And if you've got a coach going crazy and yelling at the referee and waving his arms about and everything, that carries on to the pitch. Now, Jesper Sorensen has got a fiery side. I've seen it in a couple of games this year. Last week in the first leg against Pumas, he was just losing it, but he's quite restrained and he brings it when he needs to. And I think that's what the team does as well. But they won't back down. Like if it gets physical, if Austin try and mix it up, they'll be right there with them.
Cool. Yeah, it seems like you're getting away with it also.
Yes.
Like looking at the stats for the team, it seems like the fouls per match are pretty low.
Yeah. I don't know what the bookings are. I imagine Eddie Ocampo's right near the top of bookings along with Andres Kubis from just
with
what
two.
I'm thinking.
So
just
like not
two?
even so
Oh, wow.
in league play anyway, right?
Yes, they've both picked up bookings in Champions Cup.
And so it seems to me like whatever spice level y'all are bringing, you're getting away with it.
Yeah.
Whereas
yeah.
Austin leads the league right now in yellow cards with
Yeah.
20. Not quite the same leniency from the refs, I think, that Vancouver may be getting right now.
Yeah. Well, we like Eddie Ocampo got away with a challenge against LA Galaxy that was then a straight red after Disco reviewed it. And it wasn't even a yellow card in the game. I mean, you see it back, it's a shocker.
Yeah.
How VAR missed it, I have no idea. But it meant we kept 11 players on to the end and then we got a late goal and won that. So maybe the refs, after everything that's happened to us in recent years, have felt a little bit sorry for us. Or, I mean, there's a big elephant in the room with Vancouver in that the team is up for sale.
Yeah.
And I know that's a touchy point in Austin from
Well,
the previous Austin.
I will say this, that when we lost our USL team to Orlando, that was probably our like soccer in the US is designed around capitalism, right?
Yeah.
And I think what happened to us since then is kind of the best of both worlds, right? Columbus got to keep their team. We got a team. Columbus, I mean, arguably has the best situation of all of us, right? Like they got to keep their team. They got a new stadium. They won the cup. Like they have the best manager probably in North America, maybe the entire the entire hemisphere. So like I don't know. But I hear you, and I think that is one of those like national narratives that maybe isn't as true locally, right?
Yeah, because like we're up for sale. We don't know if anyone is going to want to keep the team in Vancouver. So the only way to do that is to have a successful team, a competitive team, and get the fans in.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing this year. Now, whether they may be getting a little bit of help along the way, I don't know. Just this past Friday, it then suddenly got announced, oh, the new stadium that the Whitecaps have been trying to build since 2009, now they're going to be able to possibly build one in the city.
That's so good to hear. I know last couple of years we had Har on who's a local journalist for y'all.
Yeah.
And she was mentioning that like having to play in BC Place could be really tough sometimes because I mean, let's be real, y'all are in a place where you can grow some incredible grass.
And we're playing on one of the worst surfaces in MLS, and everyone hates it. And whenever Robbie Keane came here, we always would ask him about the grass because he would bite and he would drop like profanity-laden comments in his post-game and stuff as well about the grass. And I was like, oh, this is what you want.
Yeah.
But it means like we played Miami last year. Messi didn't come. Suarez didn't come. Busquets didn't come. So it's like Thierry Henry never played here. All those top guys have never played here. And I like that they don't because it helps the Whitecaps if you're not playing against a top team. But to grow the game, like to grow the game, fans want to see those guys.
Yeah, of course.
And we're not getting them here because of the turf. Now, if we were to end up playing Miami in a cup competition, there's no way that those guys are suddenly going to not turn up.
Right.
But that's like the chances of that, it's possible, but it's not going to happen every single year. So we need a new stadium. It's going to be open air. It's going to be soccer specific. That's all we know.
Only one roof. You got to tell them. You got to tell them only one roof.
Yeah, apparently none. Open air.
Yeah, but like one ceiling, one top.
We had a temporary stadium close to where they're going to build the new one, and it had two shallow roofs, but that was it. It rains a lot here.
I would call Q2 a roof and open air.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, I think
multitudes.
You have to have a roof in Vancouver because it rains so much.
Yeah.
And we've got a Canadian Premier League team, which is kind of equivalent to USL Championship. Well, the top teams are, some of them is more USL League One, but there's only like 8 teams in it. And one of them is in the Vancouver area. And they built a stadium with no roofs on any of the stands. And they played their opening game this past weekend. And it was torrential rain. And they got maybe, the announced attendance was way more. But in actual people turning up, you're looking at 400 folk probably turned up. And that was the season opener. And it's like, but you built a stadium with no roof.
Yeah. Brutal.
All right. Well, I guess let's kind of like talk about attendance vibes. What's the fan temperature in Vancouver right now? I'm assuming high, but like especially like new coach, lots of congestion. How are folks in Vancouver feeling about the Whitecaps?
They're feeling good. Like obviously the results help. I would think for this, if I'm guessing, we're talking 17 to 18,000 will be the attendance. We like BC Place holds 60,000, but we only really open the lower ball, which is a maximum of 27. But our best attendances are like 22 to 24. This will be 17 to 18 just because there's been so many games in such a short period of time. And we just had the Canadian women's national team just played a game here this past Friday, and they suffered as a result. There was like 12,000 folk came out to it. And there's the first ever game in the new Women's League takes place next Wednesday. So you've got fans that's got tickets to that. So that'll hit this as well. The Canucks are still going in ice hockey. They've got their last game. They won't be in the playoffs. I'm not a hockey fan, so I don't really care. But their game is also next Wednesday. After that, we'll start to get bigger crowds in.
Yeah.
But for this one, with the games coming thick and fast, I'd think 17 to 18. It's meant to be a nice day, so we're a strange market. We're a kind of last minute walk up market. So you could sell 17,000 tickets and get 20,000 in the stadium.
That's wild.
Yeah.
It's wild to us because we have a 20,000 person seat stadium, right? And 15,000 of those are season tickets. And so I
think we're 12,500 season tickets this year.
So even if, all of our tickets were available on the day of the game, that's still only 5,000 tickets, right? And typically that is not a thing for us, right? We are currently, air quotes, we're in the middle of a sellout streak, right? We're starting to see the butts in the seats to represent that, but definitely,
Well, you've got one of the best atmospheres. It feels, not having been there, in all of MLS. It's one of the stadiums I always talk about. I want to get down to a game there because I just love, when the lights go out and it all lights up in green, it just looks so cool. We've started copying that a little bit now at BC Place.
Good.
Although,
I like hearing
when we played Pumas last week, the lights actually went out 4 times during the game, which was not
on purpose.
I mean, it made the game very vibey.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's good to hear stuff like that because, there has been feedback that it's, what do they call it? Plastic or cringe.
Yeah.
Cringe to force atmosphere or whatever.
I don't agree from watching it. And I come from a UK background where you can tell when stuff's forced.
Yeah.
And I think it looks great.
Thank you.
Sporting Kansas City, LAFC. 3 best, I think, in the West.
Wow. I won't. You can't say Portland.
Yeah, you're not allowed.
I can't say Portland.
I get it. You're not allowed. But they're always in my top 3. It's always them, LA, and us. If I'm being honest.
They were quite quiet when I was down in February and last October. I didn't quite see them.
Let them know. We'll tell
atmosphere.
Sam. We've had Sam Spiller on from Stumptown Footy doing these, and we'll let him know.
Well, I mean, we scored 9 goals in those 2 games, so we like the atmosphere down there.
Yeah, honestly, y'all. Thank you so much for this, Michael. This was awesome. Tell people again where they can find you and where they can consume your work. We love AFTN.
Thank you. You can get everything aftn.ca. That'll have all our social media stuff on there as well, and our podcast. And we cover everything MLS to the grassroots amateur league here in BC as well. And just go and check it out.
Awesome. And, we will, if you make it down to Austin this year or next, we will, we'll use our clout to maybe get you an Alistair meet and greet.
Oh yeah, for sure.
No, when you're here, to let us know. It would be great.
Well, I have to get I'm not good with the heat, so I need to find the perfect window where the game is, and it's not that I'm gonna die.
Yeah, fair. Well, thank you so much for this insight. I hope we all have fun. I just hope we have more fun than you. Thank you so much, Michael.
I just hope there's goals.
Yeah, I'm hoping for big goals this weekend.
Yes. Cheers, guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much again, Michael, for coming on. It was a great chance to get to chat about the upcoming match. I'm really excited to see what happens.
Yeah, I am mostly really excited for Michael to finally meet Alistair McAllister.
One day. I'm also really excited that there are going to be so many goals from us this weekend.
Yes.
That's what I learned.
Yeah, what I learned is that we're going to win.
1,000,000-0.
Yeah, because I'm just nervous. He made me nervous.
Well, let's talk about something nice and get to the man of my jersey.
Okay, who is it?
You know what? The man of my jersey this week is my left-handed king, my small putter boy, CJ Fodre. I don't know if anyone wants to be called a small putter boy.
Too late. Shout out to CJ for getting the call up to the first team this week on the plane to Vancouver. He won't be at the FACito match on Friday.
And I think that's one of the things that I've really admired about CJ this season overall. It's not just because he's a lefty or using a small putter that he's my man of my jersey this week, but he has been a really clutch sub all season. And I feel like after the dominant FCito season, he may have felt a little too big for his britches coming into the first team. I don't know if that's a vibe anyone else felt, but it kind of felt like he was not quite ready. But everyone in the audience wanted, why aren't we playing the FCito boys? They're champions. So he did his best. And now he's really clearly worked so hard to raise his level to first team quality. And he's been doing great. And I'm really proud of him.
Yeah. Congratulations, CJ. You're the man of Steph's jersey.
You're the man of my jersey.
If you like our show, remember to rate, review, subscribe, tell all of your friends, tell all of your enemies, tell a stranger in the street, and you can sign up for the Patreon.
Patreon.com/SWOONTOWER Soccer.
That's right. We got to see the bandanas.
Oh my gosh, they're beautiful.
And the hot sauce. And I can't wait to try those.
Yes, same.
Both.
Yes.
I'm not going to eat the bandana, but I'm going to put it on.
Yeah, I'm not going to eat it, but I am going to lick it. Y'all, thanks for listening. We're so happy to have you here. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.
I will marry Chewy's.
Yeah.
Because they love Chew Boom Boom sauce.